river. I've got peace like a river in my soul. I've got peace like a river. I've got peace like a river. I've got peace like a river in my soul. I've got love like an ocean. I've got love like an ocean. I've got love like an ocean in my soul. I've got love like an ocean. I've got love like an ocean. I've got love like an ocean in my soul.
Hi everyone, welcome to Rescue Person Kids. John chapter 4 verses 23 and 24. The hour cometh. But the hour cometh. And now is. When the true worshiper worship the Father. When the true worshiper shall worship the Father. In spirit and in truth.
For the Father
seeketh sons to worship him. God is the Spirit. God is the Spirit, and they that worship him must worship him in spirit and in truth. Nature testifies of God.
Hey boys and girls, let me tell you a little bit about tomatoes. Do you like tomatoes? Me too, I love tomatoes. Did you know that some types of tomatoes are yellow or orange when it's ripe? Tomatoes are used a lot in food that is from the Italian food. They are also used to make ketchup. Do your mommy and daddy make ketchup? Tomatoes are called fruit because they contain seeds. Tomatoes are very shiny and smooth. It has many small seeds and it's also good for health. Now, most tomatoes, as we may know, are red. The tomato is green when it's unripe, but when it's ripe, it turns red. It slowly changes color from green to red when it gets ripe. Now, you can think about lots of things you can do with tomatoes. So you can make tomato jam, you can make ketchup, you can make spaghetti and vegan meatballs, right? And there are lots and lots of health benefits. Let us get into some of the health benefits. Tomatoes are loaded with a substance that is called lycopene. Now, let your mommy and daddy explain to you at this time what is lycopene. It gives them that bright red color and helps protect them from ultraviolet rays of the sun. Yes, tomatoes also have potassium, vitamin B and E and other nutrients. So boys and girls, eat up your tomatoes. Don't push them aside on your plate, but eat your tomatoes today and let us grow healthy and strong together. Craft time with Auntie D.
Hi boys and girls, welcome back to Craft Time. For our craft today, we will be making a picture frame. Let me see the hands of all those who know what a picture frame is. Wow, very good boys and girls. Yes, one that you can put a picture of yourself, your family, even if you have a pet, boys and girls. So you know what, before you see what is needed for craft, go find yourself a picture somewhere home. It can be a picture of you as a baby or a picture of the whole family or anything or anyone. Go on, boys and girls, get your picture before we see what is needed for craft. Okay, boys and girls, at this time, I hope you have your picture because we will need one. I'm using a gift card, boys and girls. You will also need, you can use a gift card if you want to, right? Okay, boys and girls. You will also need glue, a pencil, a ruler. You will need a scissors and also color pencil. This is the colors that I'll be using. You can choose your colors too. You can use crayons or color markers as well. Okay, boys and girls. So, like I said, pause the video, get all the stuff that is needed, and let's begin our craft for today. You will also need a sheet of paper. Alright, so I want you to take your card or your picture and you're going to put it down on your sheet of paper. Right, the sheet of paper is going to be sideways, not lengthways, sideways. And you are going to take your pencil and draw a little line on top and at the side. And you're going to do that, so it's going to look like that. And you're going to do that on the top there, on the bottom. So you're going to do that on the four corners of the picture or card. Okay, boys and girls? Just a little line, like you're making a a halfway triangle or V to make it even better. The triangle will be on top and the V, halfway triangle, and the V will be at the bottom. So it's going to look like this, okay? So what you're going to do now, you're going to take your ruler and you're going to put it where you put your line on top and bottom, either on the right. You can start from on the right or the left, and you're going to draw a line straight down. So when I'm finished, I want you to see exactly how it's supposed to be, like this. And you're going to do the same on the other side, and you're going to draw a line from top to bottom. Right? You will also do the same with to draw a line. So you'll draw one on the bottom and one on the top as well. Okay, so now that we're finished, it's gonna look like this. So I'm going to put an X on these, on the boxes at the side, the four corners, so you will see which box you will have to cut out. So it will be the 4 boxes at each corner of the square, right? And I will cut out one piece, this square here, and then we're going to cut out the rest on the other side as well. So just take your time, boys and girls. So you're going to cut it out, and you're going to do the same on this side and around. Okay, so your paper will be looking like this. Okay, so I want you to take a pencil now, a long pencil, and what we are going to do, you see all the lines there, we see that square because we have a square in the middle. We're going to take our pencil and we are going to roll the paper onto the pencil, going all the way in until we reach the line, and then we are going to stop. And we will do that for the others, all right? So we'll keep rolling them until they all meet into each other. We're not going to stick them just yet, so we are just rolling, okay? Okay, so when it's finished, what I want you to do, I want you to turn your paper over. We will come back on that side, so just turn your paper over. And at this time, you're going to take your color pencil, your crayon, your marker, and you're going to put whatever design, whatever pattern you want on your piece of paper. And I will just show you an example of what I'm doing. You can scribble anything you want, and you will do it on that piece, the one on the left, the right, and even on the top. Okay, boys and girls? So you can begin now. Okay, so as you can see, I just did some scribbles, right? You can do whatever you want. It's supposed to be looking like this. So you're going to turn your paper over again. You're going to take your glue and you're going to put it on that line, on all the lines around, because we are going to take our paper now and we're going to roll it in, right? So we took our pencil before and started rolling it, so it would have really have a curve in it to roll easier. So you're going to do that now, and you're going to stick it down there. Make sure you put enough glue on the line so that when you roll it and it sticks, it would not come back out, right? So you're going to put sufficient glue, and you're just going to keep rolling, and you can press down on that glue there, and you can squeeze it in if you want a little peak, or you can leave it wrong, right? Okay, so there you have it, boys and girls, our picture frame. Now at this time, you can take your picture. I have to put more glue there. No, it's fixed. All right, so just take it down. So you could have put your picture before, or you can put it after, right? Depending on the size of the picture. So at this time, you could take your picture, your card, and you can stick it in, okay? So this is our picture frame, boys and girls. I did 2 as well, so I can show you that you can do it too. You can use a color paper, and as you see, I didn't stick a picture of myself or anyone. I stuck a picture of a butterfly, and I put a rubber band in back, so you can hang up this picture frame. I stuck a picture of a picture there, but I used this one. It's a gift paper, and I used cardboard so that it can stand up. So you can do that. You can make one to hang up, one to stand up, or to stick on a wall or whatever. So I hope you guys had an enjoyable day. Remember, boys and girls, be creative. This is your craft that you're doing. So you can use, like I said, gift paper or any color paper or white if you have, and you can decorate it. Hope you guys had a wonderful time at craft today. Remember to be obedient to both God and your parents. Have a wonderful time in Jesus' name. Bye.
Hi boys and girls, I'm going to read a little story for you entitled The Little Verse. Rose was fond of Sabbath school and loved to please her teacher by having a good lesson and by very good behavior in her class. If any little girl laughed or whispered in the class, it was not Rose. But after Sabbath school was over and the new book read, there was often a little time left that seemed quite tedious to Rose. She was inclined to think her mother too strict about keeping the Sabbath. She did not think of taking a ride nor expect permission to take a ramble. But she did not see what harm there could be in reading a magazine story or writing a pleasant letter to a schoolmate or friend. She knew her mother did not approve of this and usually managed to pass the day in a manner to please her. I think she secretly admired her all the more for what she called her very strict ideas. One Sabbath, she had gone to her own room and after reading until tired, some pretty tainted newspaper in her portfolio looked too tempted for her to resist. I'm thinking about Belle and what more harm in writing to her, she said to herself. She took her pen and laying her sheet on a newspaper before her, began to write. Just then, some printed lines on a paper caught her eyes. She seemed to look at the little verse a good while, for it was but one verse, and she could have read it in a moment before taking up her pen. And when she did, she held it above her sheet, as if balancing a question. Shall I write to Belle today or tomorrow? Was the question. Something said today. The verse said tomorrow. As Rose minded the verse and was happier for it, I will tell you what it was. A Sabbath, this was a verse, boys and girls, she read. A Sabbath well spent bring a week of content and health for the joys of tomorrow. But a Sabbath profane, whatsoever may be gained, is a certain forerunner of sorrow. This was more than 20 years ago, but Rose remembers the verse yet, and it has often helped her to decide Sabbath day questions. Boys and girls, sometimes on the Sabbath you may think that your parents are too strict. They may tell you cannot do this or you cannot do that. Remember that the Sabbath is the day that you spend with God. You put away all play and all school and all work and focus upon Him. And just like the verse that Rose read, a Sabbath well spent brings a week of content and health for the joys of tomorrow. But a Sabbath profane, whatsoever it may gain, is a certain forerunner of sorrow. Remember, boys and girls, to keep the Sabbath holy. Story time. We are reading from the Bible. 1 Samuel chapter 19. And Saul spake to Jonathan his son, and to all his servants, that they should kill David. But Jonathan, Saul's son, delighted much in David. And Jonathan told David, saying, Saul my father seeketh to kill thee. Now therefore, I pray thee, take heed to thyself until the morning, and abide in a secret place, and hide thyself. And I will go out and stand beside my father in the field where thou art, and I will commune with my father for thee. And what I see, that I will tell you. And Jonathan spake good of David unto Saul his father, and said unto him, Let not the king sin against thy servant, against David, because he had not sinned against thee, and because his works have been to thee ward very good. For he did put his life in his hand, and slew the Philistine. And the Lord wrought a great salvation for all Israel. Thou sawest it, and didst rejoice. Wherefore, when wilt thou sin against innocent blood, to slay David without a cause? And Saul hearkened unto the voice of Jonathan. And Saul sware, As the Lord liveth, he shall not be slain. And Jonathan called David, and Jonathan showed him all those things. And Jonathan brought David to Saul, and he was in the presence as in time past. And there was war again. And David went out and fought with the Philistines, and slew them with a great slaughter, and they fled from him. And the evil spirit from the Lord was upon Saul, as he sat in his house with his dravel in his hand. And David played with his hand, and Saul sought to smite David even to the wall with the javelin. But he slipped away out of Saul's presence, and he smote the javelin into the wall. And David fled and escaped that night. Saul also sent messengers unto David's house to watch him, and to slay him in the morning. And Michal, David's wife, told him, saying, If thou save not thy life tonight, tomorrow thou shalt be slain. And Michal let David down through a window, and he went and fled and escaped. And Michal took an image, and lay it in the bed, and put a pillow of goat's hair for his bolster, and covered it with a cloth. And when Saul sent messengers to take David, she said, He is sick. And Saul sent the messenger again to see, saying, Bring him up to me in the bed, that I may slay him. And when the messengers were come in, behold, there was an image in the bed, with a pillow of goat skin for his bolster. And Saul said unto Michal, Why hast thou deceived me so, and sent away mine enemy, that he is escaped? And Michal answered Saul, He said unto me, Let me go. Why should I kill thee? And David fled and escaped, and came to Samuel to Ramah, and told him all that Saul had done to him. And he and Samuel went and dwelt in Naioth. And it was told Saul, Behold, David is at Naioth in Ramah. And Saul sent messengers to take David. And when they saw the company of the prophet prophesying, and Samuel standing as appointed over them, the Spirit of God was upon the messengers of Saul, and they also prophesied. And when it was told Saul, he sent other messengers, and they prophesied likewise. And Saul sent messengers again the third time, and they prophesied also. Then went he also to Ramah, and came to a great well that is in Secu. And he asked and said, Where is Samuel and David? And one said, Behold, they be in Naioth in Ramah. And he went hither to Ramoth in Ramah, and the Spirit of God was upon him also. And he went on and prophesied until he came to Naioth in Ramah. And he stripped off his clothes also, and prophesied before Samuel in like manner, and lay down naked all that day and all that night. Wherefore they say, Is Saul also among the prophets? Boys and girls, I hope you enjoy our story today. Are you ready for some questions?
Yes.
Question number 1. What was the name of Saul's son?
I know.
Wait a while. Boys and girls, do you know the answer? Now listen, boys and girls. In our YouTube channel, you are able to comment. I have made it available that you little ones could place your comments there. So if you know the answer, please place your comments. What was the name of Saul's son?
Jonathan.
That's right. His name was Jonathan. Question number 2. What was the name of David's wife? Think hard, boys and girls. Do you know the answer?
Yes.
What's the name of David's wife?
Michael.
Michal. That's right, boys and girls. Last question. How many times did Saul send messengers to Ramah? What is the answer?
3 times.
Very good, boys and girls. Continue studying God's word so you can know him more.
Peace like a river, I've got peace like a river in my soul. I've got peace like a river, I've got peace like a river, I've got peace like a river in my soul. I've got love like an ocean, I've got love like an ocean, I've got love like an ocean in my soul. I've got love like an ocean, I've got love like an ocean, I've got love like an ocean in my soul.